Hi, I guess I let 11 seconds slip by. I know that I don't have any viewers yet. I didn't really publicize that I was going to go on at all. This is kind of spontaneous. And this is actually kind of a test run to see what it's like for me to broadcast in my college cafeteria. And I'm just trying, I appreciate you guys for being here. I do want to talk about this topic a little bit, though, because I threw that in there because it's on my mind about Alec Baldwin, what happened with Alec Baldwin. By the way, this is my swag from the school. I guess I should make it go right. It's my little hat here. It's raining here today, which has been kind of fun. Apparently, it's also raining in Los Angeles as well. So we're having some rain in California. I'm also checking to see outside noise. Believe it or not, there was a rehearsal going on right next to me in the cafeteria of all days, right? All this production going on. It looks like there's students, they have scripts, they might actually even say something, I'm not really sure. And then, so anyway, and I've actually lost somebody. That's probably a hater, actually. It's like, well, what's she talking about? It's funny. In my English 3 class today, my teacher actually used the term hater. Like, what are haters, It's like, now, like, the word hater is, like, a part of our actual vernacular. All right, so, but in this hat, too, I took a picture of it, and I put it on Instagram, and I got comments that my hat was satanic because it had satanic colors. And of course, the school mascot is the ram. So, I don't know make what you want out of that. I didn't want to just have a hat that, that was part of my school, because you can see here on the seats, these are, I guess, like the colors are kind of blending in. Well, I kind of blended with the whole thing, right? I got the gray and the red and the white and the little tassel here. Wow, we're accidentally color coordinated. Oh, no, I lost everybody. Okay, whatever. Go away. I don't care. I'll just keep talking, because that's what I do. I just keep talking to see what's going on. Anyway. All right, so let's talk about Alec Baldwin for a moment. And, I don't really have some concrete thoughts on that yet, because I think it's really important, like I learned in my English critical thinking class today, it's really important to let information come in, not to just be reactive. There are some things that I have taken note of that I'd like to share with you. First of all, I think it is a horrible tragedy. I really, it's just, I don't know about you, but I've had difficulty not like letting it go for some reason. It's just kind of sitting with me, and maybe to some people that doesn't mean anything, or they don't care, or they don't like Alec Baldwin, or however. But I have worked in the entertainment industry, and I've worked on films, and I've I know the process of how it goes. As a matter of fact, I actually even worked on an independent film in New Mexico. That was the first independent film I ever was cast in, and it was directed by Steven Custada, who ended up later on playing Detective Gomez on Breaking Bad. He's a comedian, and I had worked his clubs that he booked several times, and had a bit of a rapport, so I got a part, and I went in and I did it. So New Mexico is an interesting place. There's a lot of filming that takes place in New Mexico, and even back then, and this was, I believe, I'm trying to think what year it was. It's around 2007, 2008 that I worked on the project. Hi, Rebecca Turner. Thanks for saying hello. I'm gonna put you up there. John Aside, thanks for being here. Yeah, I'm broadcasting from my school today, just because I wanted to test out the internet and see what the background noise is like. Another thing too, I'm considering maybe broadcasting on Wednesday from here because my internet's a little stronger, but I don't know if I'm going to do it in the cafeteria. It'll be at a different hour, but Kevin Moore has invited me to do a broadcast with he and True Seeker and Stephen Cambion and CW Chanter. We're all going to be on the same show, and the topic is going to be about Simon Parks and some of the allegations from women that have been taking place. So there's a possibility that Simon Parks will call into that broadcast. And so background noise is there, but it's not bad. Yeah, thank you for letting me know that. I did do a mild little test just to record, and I thought that's not too bad. I mean, right now we're a little bit past lunch. Now the cafeteria closes at 1:15, so this is going to be kind of short unless they let me stay a little bit longer because I asked. I might, if the weather's good, I might actually take my laptop on Wednesday outside. We'll see. Maybe I can find another place that I might be able to record in. Yeah, not bad. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I figured it was okay. Like I said, there's some kids rehearsing over here. I'm calling them kids because, like, to me they're kids, right? But so there's something going on. So but they're not very noisy either. Lots of artistic things happening here in the cafeteria. All right. So getting back to the Truth Seeker show, this is going to happen on Wednesday. I'm told it's 5:00 their time, so it's 3:00 my time, which I'm on the West Coast. But we're all going to tune in. It's going to be mainly broadcast live from Stephen Cambion's Truth Seekers. So make sure that you see what Truth Seekers is doing, and just to let you know that I'm also going to be a part of that panel. And it's interesting. I'm really happy to be part of that panel, to be honest with you. And I feel kind of humbled that that I'm like the one woman that's going to be on that with the other guys to talk about this, because it's a serious subject. If we're talking about women being taken advantage of and abused by this particular community, and I don't want to give it all away, but also. Because I was in my critical thinking class, and when you get information and you look at information, it's really important to hold back, really look at all the evidence, be fair-minded, about the topic. Hey, I've had rape allegations by Sarah, right? Sarah accused me of threatening to rape her, and that is completely not true. And so, rumors and things that people say can, snowball into something that might not be the real truth. Like, some people do get convicted in prison and they're not really guilty. And so I not to say that I'm waffling and I don't want anybody to go whatever, but I'm letting you know that I'm thinking about all those different kinds of things, because what we're really here for is to find out what the real truth is about something. And if you end up being a reactive person or just knee jerking everything, that we're not allowing ourselves to really be logical about everything. So I'm going to get the information, I'm really looking forward, and I hope that you guys that are listening here. Who is Stephen Cambion? Yeah, I know. Who is that? I don't know who that is. Yeah, some guy, has a channel, so Stephen, True Seekers. Okay, so yeah, now. Great way to come in. Great way to come at it, Terry. Thank you, Rebecca. No, really, I think the problem with what happens online and just what happens in life, is that a lot of times, we're not. We have a belief system. We sit on a certain. We have a political stance, and we want to look through everything through that filter. For example, let me bring up Alec Baldwin for a second and the tragedy that happened then. A lot of times, you'll look at some information, you'll get a gut instinct about something. And I guess I could share you my own gut instincts about things. It's like, okay, was this an accident or not an accident? I automatically tune into the conspiracy aspect of it. And I go, okay, was it an accident or not an accident? Did somebody know that they were going to put something in there? And then it was a setup that Alec didn't know. Did Alec, conspiracy thoughts? Did Alec piss somebody off and they're making an example out of him? There's all these different theories that you can decide. Some people, were I noticed on Facebook, because I'm friends with a lot of comedians, because that's mostly my background. So more than being associated with people on social media. They're closing the food up right now. More than being connected to this community that I normally talk to with on YouTube, I'm more connected to the legacy and the history of comics. And comics sometimes want to make jokes. Like comics are famous for making jokes over tragedy events that they'll go, ooh, too soon, oh, I'm sorry. And I've done it. I've done the ooh, too soon thing because, and we feel like we're edgy, and a lot of times you're like, well, I can joke up anything could be joked about. But just ask Dave Chappelle, right? Anything to be joked about, except if it doesn't go along with blank, blank, blank. But, and when does the joke become a hater? When does the joke become hate speech? When do we determine that, and how does that get determined? And and is that a sign of culture evolving or devolving? I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's a whole nother argument that you can get into. So I was seeing people making jokes, and I just couldn't get into laughing about it. I just really am. I feel sad about it. I feel sad about the woman who died. And when you work on a movie or you work on a film or something, I'm actually writing a screenplay right now, because I'm taking a screenwriting class. So I'm going to write the first act before the semester is over. And, so when you think about, you've imagined the story and and let me tell you something, when you're on a set filming something, it's the best day of your life. It's you can't wait to go to work. I can't think of anything better that I would want to do than to make movies. And it's always been, a dream. Cellar door, isn't that the cellar door? That phrase, in Donnie Darko, right? It's the perfect word. It's the perfect phrase. Cellar door. I'm listening and driving in the rain. Oh, be careful. Yeah, it's raining over here too. It's the rain is kind of I like it today. I'm feeling it. But it's not fun to drive it. Rebecca Turner. Yes, I thought the same. DDD, one of the people who walked off the job, get pissed and load the gun. I hope not, but you never know anymore. Yeah, and here's what I'm reading things that they had issues on the set. They were workers who were upset with that they weren't following the COVID protocol, which is kind of interesting that they wouldn't be, because you would think something as standardized as the entertainment business would, but this is an independent film, but apparently it was a union project, but it was kind of it might have been independent, but it became union when Alec Baldwin became a part of the project. He was producing it too, so he was putting his money in it. And again, the gun issue. Okay, the irony of it is the fact that he represents the left, right? Alec Baldwin, we all know his parodies of Trump on SNL, and you think that I'm not really sure about his sentiment on gun laws, but if you're representing the left, you we shouldn't assume, but you assume that, he's part of the gun control culture, right? And yet, this accident happened with the blanks. And like, you probably know this already. Of course, everybody brings up Brandon Lee. That was a tragedy. But then again, if you want to be conspiratorial, you think of Brandon Lee as a Lee family, and his father, and there's these things circulating around that. Like, I guess if think about it, if we were going to write a screenplay about it, if somebody wanted to screw somebody up, and said wanted to like have an accident happen, but then it's not really an accident, then that would be the perfect thing to do, right? Like, oh yeah, it's cold, it doesn't have any ammunition in it. Okay, well then just go ahead and there you go. All of us are probably, especially us, right? Especially us. We're all going through these little scenarios, but of what possibly may be happening without knowing the entire facts of what's happening. So I'm just going to say what I've known so far and what I'm observing. One thing is I am seeing a bit of, the right and the left talking about it and talking about it from their own perspectives, which is kind of something that you have to kind of sift through. There is a history of Alec Baldwin being, apparently he's gotten arrested a couple of times. He's been nasty. We've heard of him being nasty, so we know he has somewhat of a temper. The irony of it, too, again, is that he's playing a part of a person who accidentally shoots somebody. And yet now he's actually shot somebody in the movie that he was making it about, which that kind of oddity that happens in Hollywood is sort of interesting to me. So I kind of wonder about that. Sometimes it seems like there's a connection there's a thin line between what you're pretending to put out there and what's actually really happening in somebody's real life. So where do we go from here? Do you guys have any thoughts about what I'm saying right now? Let me see. Rebecca says, I'm working, sculpting, and watching. I love the daytime live shows. Oh, thank you. Thank you for that feedback. Normally I do it at night. And I am having a bit, the reason why I'm experimenting here, because if I can find a spot on campus, the internet's better here. So I might try to be on Stephen Cambion's show where I have better internet. Although, my home is still kind of spotty right now. I'm running off my hotspot, but the connection is not good there. The walls are thick or something. So, been a little bit better if I reset it, but yeah. And then they also were not following the safety protocols with the guns. That's what I've heard too. And again, apparently there was already a complaint about that. And so they walked out about it or something. I heard there were issues on the set. It was not a happy cast and crew, and it was apparently like a 3-week shoot. So they had I think maybe a week and a half into it, and they were having these particular issues. So what I don't know yet, I haven't gotten a beat on, and I'm sure I'm going to talk about this later on my channel. Like I said, I don't want to start talking about things that I really don't know about totally, because it's still at the very beginning stage. Is what was I going to say now? Okay, there's the and then oh, I hate it when I lose my thought. What is that? That's not age, is it? No, I hope not. It quieted down a little bit because we're getting towards the end and people are going to be leaving soon. Well, there's still people in here. They haven't kicked me out yet. So, but I do have to go soon. One thing I did notice about Alec Baldwin is that on his, he's not saying much on social media. There's one tweet or something or some comment on his Instagram where he is, saying that he's sorry for the husband and he feels bad for what the husband's going through and this and that. And he made some sort of statement I read, but I can't find that on his Twitter, so I'm not sure. Well, where is this graphic coming from? But it's definitely been uploaded onto his particular site. I suspect that he's probably been told not to speak to anybody much, give a whole lot of interviews. Okay, now I remember my question. What I was thinking before I lost my thought. Okay, so the thought I was thinking before back then was, were they in rehearsal? Like, were they rehearsing something? If you are rehearsing, do you actually really need to do the gun? Or was he having a conversation and maybe even like jokingly an argument went and like I'm gonna shoot you, and then boom, the gun goes off? Like, was it that situation? Because I've heard different scenarios. So I think until we really get the final details, we won't know. Oh, another person that accidentally died that way with the blanks in the gun was an actor named Eric Hexum Jr. And he was on a show called Models Inc., I think, where or the Making of a Male. He did a movie called Making of a Male Model, and he was totally gorgeous, by the way. I remember him, back then. Beautiful man, really. I mean, and he was just goofing around, and he, play acting or whatever, and, shot himself in the head. Like, he was like that, and he really shot himself. So it's just weird, because in the entertainment business, in the film business, we've known that, that the guns can be dangerous. I mean, like, you think we would have learned from our lessons. And I just find it ironic that it's Alec Baldwin. Like, why Alec Baldwin? I mean, and again, is it karma? I mean, like, and I don't want to say it's karma, but it's like, why Alec Baldwin? One thing I do notice about Alec, because I follow him on Instagram. I've been following him on Instagram, and just to see what he's doing. I Alec Baldwin is an asshole. Like people, he's an asshole. Like, when I was on Facebook, I just really can't make a joke about it right now. It's funny. And then we go, well, no, he's an asshole. Well, yeah, but how many, everybody's an asshole sometimes. I mean, I've been an asshole before, but does that mean, okay, fine, somebody's an asshole. Somebody acts like an asshole. Somebody's subjected to being an asshole sometimes. But are they asshole all the time? Do we just lump people in that category? Oh, he's an asshole. He's an asshole. That's it. He's an asshole. Well, you know what? Even though he is an asshole, I still like him. I find I get a kick out of him. I even get a kick out of his narcissism or his absurdity. He's a very charming person. But then again, charming people can be psychopaths. So it goes on and on. I just curious to find out what really happened, I'm just hoping that I just wanted to share that with you. I just want to share those thoughts about looking at events, standing back and waiting for more information, not jumping onto something and taking a political slant on it and running with it, because it doesn't really serve any purpose. And hopefully, we can get to a point that's a tragedy like this is eliminated from the film business, and it doesn't ever happen again. With CGI and the digital and all that other stuff and graphics, I mean, we don't need to even shoot the gun anymore. You can actually add that other stuff in post. So I really feels like, even using these guns on set is archaic and dangerous. That's my thought. Cellar door. I'm about 6 minutes behind, but I'm glad you're talking about this. Yes, it is in Donnie Darko, but wasn't my inspiration from my hands. Even though I like that movie, I go conspiracy theory quickly. Yeah, it's easy to do, and it's, come, let's face it, it's kind of fun to go conspiracy theory. I mean, and if you think about the conspiracy theory, that, whatever theory you think of in your head is even kind of interesting. Like, don't you think, well, it would be really cool if, like, what I was thinking was actually correct? But, it may not be. Sometimes I'm thinking, like, well, if, like, just take the conspiracies and write a movie out of it. By the way, I binge watched Squid, and that was talk about, there's some interesting stuff that float around conspiracy world on that series. If you haven't seen it, I think Dave Chappelle is very funny as well. I love his new special. I'm parked now, not texting and driving. I haven't watched the new special yet. Totally, I'm about 12 minutes in, and and within the first 12 minutes, he's just messing with the crowd, really. So he hasn't really gone into it. But I want to make sure that I don't want to just jump on some bandwagon and condemn a comedian or back them, right? Unless I actually really see what's going on, because I don't trust the way the media depicts it. I don't trust how, again, a rumor could happen, just because you got a power and a mic in front of you, and you have an establishment, these people have a power to go after anybody the way they want to. And historically, this has always happened. Historically, it's always happened, and it hasn't really changed yet. And so I think that, we have to sift through it. Now, again, Netflix said no, they're not taking the video, his special down, and that's inflaming people. So Netflix not taking that special down, and Netflix didn't take that show down about the young girls that were, I guess, in a dance troupe that everybody was talking about wasn't appropriate to be having little girls dressed like that. They still left that up there. They still left Dave Chappelle up there. So it kind of makes you wonder, like, what's up with Netflix, really? But I also want to point out, I think many of us have forgotten this, that the Obamas actually invested and made a deal with Netflix too. So, that's a fact as well, that we have politicians that are backing the media that we have controversy over, and then I'm saying that I binge watched Squid on, which is a dystopian kind of Hunger Games sort of show out of Korea, that when you watch the first episode, you realize that it's been translated into all these different languages. So, this concept is being, I don't know, does it have forethought that they want to make sure that everybody in different languages sees it? I don't know. Just wondering. I also heard that they were having issues on the set, and we're planning on a walkout or strike. Yeah. And then they did walk out. Not all, but a lot of them did the day before. So there was something wrong. The thanks at Rebecca Turner. I didn't know they actually did walk out. Yeah, they did. So there is something that that wasn't going well, and then this happened. So we'll see. We'll stay tuned. All right, I should probably go. I know that I'm like 15 minutes over my time here. Now a lot of people left and it got a lot quieter. Thanks for tuning in. For those of you that were here to participate today, and kind of help me test run what the noise level was in the cafeteria, or what my connection would be, and this is really good to cover up double chins. I love it. Don't you? Okay, no, you don't. No, we don't. But there is a positive side to this. Okay, that's it. I guess I'm going to say goodbye. I enjoy you guys, in my interaction with you on my channel. So I will see you. Oh, and again, don't forget about Truth Seekers with Kevin Moore, M. Truth Seeker, myself, and CW Chanter, and possibly Simon Parks on Wednesday. Bye.